This is Justin AMZN for Friday, July 26th, 2019. We ended up having a gap down for earnings. The day ended up with quite a bit of volume here, actually very similar volume to kind of this candle and this candle, what we did to have this breakout. So we had that kind of volume here and had a really nice move lower right down into about 1925. And then got bought up from there on a couple occasions. So zoom in on the 5-minute and can see right out the bat, right off the bat, right out the gate, right out the gate, off the bat, something like that. Yeah. Broke down, came quickly down into 1925 and bounced, came right back up to this downtrend line. It's part of that triangle we've been tracking for a little bit, and or the extension of the triangle. And then we actually rolled back down into 1925, had a great bounce again here on a bit of a consolidation and a little stair step here, kind of these three candles. And then on this candle, we were totally breaking out. And what's pretty cool on this candle, I'll show you the options, but even though it moved this much, you could have basically bought the option about the same price up here as you could have a little while ago around here, or at least close enough. Had a nice move up into the high of the day, kind of double topped up at the high of the day, and then just came back down and just followed this downtrend line again, and just went sideways for the last like 3 hours of the day. So totally sideways. People going directional here were just losing money. This was the big move. And like I said, you can wait until it goes in the direction on a day like this where it's options expiration after earnings. And if we look at the calls, so this is what I was talking about, the 10-15 candle, this one, right in here, the high was 166, didn't even get above this high here. But the next candle even, the low was 153. So the range in these candles, like the range in this one was still less than $1. So you could have been getting in above this candle and stop below this candle, like 175 by 75 or 0.75, $100 risk. And so just by doing that and just holding on for the ride, I mean, it made it up to, $5, almost $6, or $6 on this push, $5 here, going from 175 up to 375 right up in here. That would have been 2R. So you're talking already getting up to 3R and 4R up here. And, this was the candle breaking out. This was the stair step here. And so even just getting in above the stair step, having a little bit tighter range. But this was the 10-15 candle. It was way up here, and it just gave you some opportunity to get in. Now I am looking at the 1950 call, and you basically could have done an absolute zero had you just been getting into something down here. But you want it to be going in your direction on options expiration kind of thing, because otherwise it's just going to lose value and just could suck the whole value out of the option. That's what happened on the put. So the put around that same time just all of a sudden dropped and just lost everything. That same 10-15 candle just sent it lower, and there were still people buying over here, or buying it back if they had shorted it. But it was pretty clear it wasn't going to get back down. This is the 1925 put. It was pretty clear it wasn't going to get back down to that price. Just how this, totally lost all of its value here. And so this was kind of the only place that it looked like it could roll back down. That initially immediately got bought back up. This was kind of like a retest of this kind of breakout here. But it's still just really hard to see on the day itself. If you zoom out some, you can see, okay, there's that downtrend we kind of were dancing around before. We're right back into it. And then even just zooming like this, and it's a little bit harder to see. Let me see if it'll move a little bit. Okay, so what I was seeing here is, yet again, coming on a triangle like this, where we're doing something to consolidate like this. Oops. No, not where I want to draw it. Just doing some sort of consolidation here. Lower highs, higher lows, that sort of thing. and we'll see if, I mean, that ended up being, if you include all of this from after hours on Thursday for everyone reacting to earnings, playing into the day. Obviously, this is a high wave candle from the daily. That's what we started with here, but it seems like it's a little more high wave, like forming a triangle. Um, if you include all this back here, and so with that, because we went from this bigger orange triangle and broke down, and now we're into this smaller triangle here, I'm still expecting that drop into 1925 again. I'd still like to see it come down here, maybe dip below it, a bunch of bears hop on, and then a bunch of bulls, just launch the site higher, and it starts to bounce from there. This is a great price for it to bounce at. It can still do that. But again, just remember, this is a bearish retest gap. It could move higher up into like 1972.50 before rolling over. So it can totally do that too. It's just, we really need to see kind of how the volume comes in and what direction it's going to go. Very small gap down. And so most of the options were losing value if you held on to any overnight from Thursday to Friday. Not a good idea over Amazon earnings. And came right back into a level we were talking about, 1925. And for Monday, we've got that X marks the spot. So if we do just bounce off here and just keep on going, then this X is just a day early. Or I mean, we were a day early on the candle from where the X is, and that's still fine. I mean, it's to see it that close is pretty cool. But then we'll see kind of Monday, Tuesday what this thing ends up doing. If we're going to do some sort of flag again, if we can get a bounce going, like we had down here, this is probably the last time we had a really nice high wave on an uptrend channel like this to reverse. So we'll see if we have something like that from Friday's candle and pushes higher and shows kind of a reversal here. But this one has been an uptrend, so it's it's not as much of a pivoting reversal, like changing direction like this one was. It's more of a just continuing with the trend sort of reversal if we get it. So that's kind of where I'm leaning for it to continue to be more bullish, but it could totally go sideways for a couple more days in here and look like it's going to roll over again. Anything could happen at this point. We're after earnings now, and so just got to be patient for things to play out. If you're too aggressive, it'll just pull more people in thinking it's going directional, and then just do something like this where it just sits for like a week and just goes sideways, and all the people getting in bullish, bearish, whatever, it's just not going in the direction, and eventually it'll start to. So get that waning bullish momentum, no squeeze or anything. We'll see if this can start to turn back up. But we are below some of these key moving averages. So we're below the 21 now, and we did that down here. We had a high wave candle like this and pushed back up, ultimately to roll back down. So we'll see if it's time for that. We haven't done that in a little while, but kind of seeing this a double top and then a breakdown and then retesting. You could see this as a double top and a breakdown and a possible retest and then a rollover. We could do something like this again and pull back further. And then if we end up doing that, we'll get some of this pullback out of the way and continue on the bullish trend. Just don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow or if it's going to take a few more days or a few more weeks to continue back up. So be back soon with more updates this week on how things are moving, and hope this helps as a recap of earnings. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.